Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Days Podcast along with a new video. I want to thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, viewing, watching, and listening. I truly appreciate it. So today we are going to continue with free content, but be sure to check out Patreon and Spotify for exclusive episodes and videos. I will be making more over time. So today we are going to talk about Still by SWV. So let's get into it. So Still is the sixth studio album by SWV. It was released on February 5th, 2016 through Mass Appeal Entertainment and E1 Music. So I did talk about I Missed Us, which was released about 4 years prior to this album, and this is when, they were really like coming back. And I think this is an independent release. Like, I think they've been independent lately. And why not? And I've said this in previous videos where it's just like, no, like, and then for them to do well independently, it don't have to, like, I think for what it is, just as long as you're making music for your true fans and being out and creating and just living a happy life, you're good. Honestly, it's great to see number one. Trust me, I think it's great. It's just at times albums don't always chart as high because there's all these other people that people are gravitating to. So it all depends. The album was preceded by the release of the singles "Ain't No Man," "MCE," "Man Crush Every Day," and "On Tonight." Still peaked at number 80 on the US Billboard 200 albums chart, and number 5 on the US R&B albums chart, and number 11 on the R&B hip hop albums chart, with sales of 10,000 in its first week. So it did less sales. It charted lower than their previous album, though their true fans still showed support, and then the thing is, it still was able to chart. And a lot of times there are album releases that you wouldn't think, whether it's after so many albums or within their first few, that they don't always chart as high. And you'd be surprised with who it is, with when it happens. It don't always be number one. You'd be surprised. Some are very much favorable, and why not? Because there are people that love them, and you can't knock that. But yes, Still is SWV's first album released in 4 years, following 2012's I Missed Us, with a 10-track set with 10 original songs. All songs written and produced by Canaan Lamb and Derek Big D Baker, along with co-writers Sean McMillan, Ralph Genty, Torian Osborne, Ayana Howard, Sam Huck Jean, Patrice Arushin, Fred Washington, Steve Q-Beats QB, Tammy Luttrell, Dennis Lambert, Brian Potter. There are a lot of contributions to this album. Marcus Henderson, Courtney Elisa Jordan, Shawnee Asamanu, Deshaun J. Vincent, Leon Huff, Kenneth Gamble, and August Rigo. So that was a lot of people, but if they had collaborated and put their words and whichever they needed to put in to make the project be the project it is, why not? Album per se, why not? I'm here for it. And honestly, this is the thing. There be times where there don't always be writers. There be times where there's multiple writers, and it's really on how you intake with the music, and sometimes you don't even realize that the songs that be really going off sometimes be having a good amount of writers, as opposed to not having as many, and then it be both. So Yeah, on the Target edition of Still, it has 3 additional live bonus tracks added to the track listing, including their biggest hits, Right Here, I'm So Into You, and Weak. Yeah. They had mixed reviews for this album. A fair portion of Still released almost 4 years later after the group's previous album doesn't have those qualities in its favor, and the level of song quality isn't as high. That's one critic. Oh, they didn't have to do them like that. Still debuted at number 80 on the U.S. Billboard 200, number 5 on the Billboard R&B album chart, and number 11 on the top R&B hip hop albums chart, with first week sales of 10,000 units. And yes, they did live performances, and for what it's worth, they wanted to still show that they were here. And I gotta say, 2016, there were a lot of people that were coming out or coming back, and there was a lot of, things going on outside of music. So it was still good for them to release, to be honest with you. Track 1 is Still. Track 2 is MCE, Man Crush Every Day. Track 3 is On Tonight. Track 4 is Let's Make Music. Track 5 is Ain't No Man. Track 6 is Love Song. Track 7 is When Love Didn't Hurt. Track 8 is Miss You. Track 9 is Leaving You Alone. Track 10 is What We Gon' Do. Okay? And then the Japanese and Target edition is track 11, Right Here live, track 12, I'm So Into You live, and track 13, Weak live. But yeah, they wanted to make sure that their fans knew that, we're gonna still be here, and we're gonna still do what we would like to do, and why not? And they're touring now, so. But yes, that was their last recent album that they had released. It has been about 8 years, so they may come back. I don't see why not. They may, they may have more to show us. You never know. But yes, I will be back with more, if anything, and I thank you guys so much for listening and watching.